Hey everyone, welcome into Edie's Attic. It is Sunday evening. I'm here with a quick energy read for the week ahead. I'm hopefully gonna keep it short and sweet, because I know I'm gonna be off tomorrow and Tuesday. I'm beginning the renovations, finally the painting part of my home, and I've been busy all weekend getting things lined up. I feel like when I experience certain epiphanies or downloads, or I have like these aha moments in my life, I feel like sometimes because I am an empath and I pick up on the energy of the collective, that I'm experiencing some of the emotions and the cycles that the people around me in my collective are experiencing. So I'm just going to tell you some of the things that I discovered this weekend because I feel like they're going to relate to you and they can help you as well on your journey. But, with everything changing quickly for me, there's been a lot of changes. Not bad changes, but just a lot of change that I personally have never been very comfortable with change. I feel very rooted and safe and secure when things are consistent and routine and they stay the same. But I've also discovered on my journey that if I keep things the same and I don't ever change things up and explore things outside of what I'm comfortable with and what I'm used to, then I'm never going to level up or experience newness and have more opportunities and see like new pathways open up, discover new things. So I've been myself trying to step outside of my comfort zone and try new things and welcome the change. But I did find, like, for instance, over the weekend, there is a lot of things that I had to step into, a lot of decision making, a lot of movement. Some of it was financial. And I found that when I was feeling very uneasy or overwhelmed or confused or uncomfortable with the change taking process, that I would stop. I'd find a quiet space. Maybe I would excuse myself to the ladies' room, and I actually would stop and pray. But I wouldn't just pray for help. I started with gratitude. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Divine. Thank you, God. Thank you, Universe, for all these new and beautiful opportunities. Thank you for trusting me with this. Thank you for opening up this pathway to me. Thank you for all of this that you're giving me. I appreciate it. Help me learn how to handle this change properly. Help me adjust. Help me utilize the tools, the resources, the blessings that you've given me, and help me make them make sense. Help me understand how to not be like maybe abusive of it or greedy with it, or to be resourceful but not foolish. Help me make the right choices. How do I move? And I would lean in on Spirit for advice. And also, please, let me enjoy this. Help me release. Help me accept. Help me get out of like a limited mindset. Help me like break free of this repeating cycle in my mind that I'm not deserving, or something's going to like fall through, or it's too good to be true. I am deserving. I am receiving this blessing. Help me understand this better, because sometimes I think that we can get caught up in being in this lack mindset and always feeling like maybe in the past, like every time something good would happen, maybe it always followed by something negative. And then it started making me think that it's my own negative thought process, and maybe never realizing my ability and how well I can manifest what I feel and what I think into existence. That my own thought process was my biggest obstacle in creating the disasters, because I would worry so much prior to the disasters actually happening. So then, of course, the way that I am, now I'm praying for help. Help me get out of this mindset of manifesting disasters or catastrophes or downfalls or setbacks. Like, I just really had to lean in on spirit. So I feel like that is a message in itself for this collective, the week ahead. No matter what it is that you're facing or what you're dealing with, if you're feeling overwhelmed or you're feeling lost, confused, unsure, or just feeling like you're not deserving, stop, pray, show gratitude first, of course. Always be grateful for the blessings. And, ask Spirit for help in navigating this path and to helping you clear your mind of negative thoughts that may discourage you along your way. Because I feel like, again, we can be our biggest blocks when it comes to, manifesting and finally receiving the blessings that we had wished for. Once they come in, what do we do with them? I know we spend so much time wishing and hoping and praying for certain manifestations, but we never actually, I don't think, a lot of us don't prepare for how we're going to respond, react, and how we're going to use our blessings when they finally come in. So I did just get the card Guardian Angel. I am using my Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck. I felt very led to using this for this week's update. But Guardian Angel, I feel like you do have guardian angels around you. We all do. I feel like a lot of us, we know this, and oftentimes when we're in a place of despair or need, we will reach out to our guardian angels for help. But I'm also getting that, with that, remember them during the good times too. Thank them. Ask them to enjoy the experience of life with you. Acknowledge their presence. Don't just reach out to them when you need help, but communicate to them and show gratitude when things are going good. They're always with us. We're constantly being watched, protected, guided. Not that they need any kind of validation or reassurance, but as a sign of respect and love and, companionship. Just, understand that they're there and that they are protecting you and they are guiding your feet. They are watching your path. And, be humble and show generosity and gratefulness. Thought. Looks like you're going to have to be putting some thought into something coming up this week. And if you haven't, and you are being faced with a choice or particular decisions, you're being guided to taking your time on making that decision. Don't rush through it. Don't be impulsive. Don't make choices quickly. Take your time with it. And that would be another time that maybe you do need to reach out to your guardian angel. Help me. Help me see these paths. Help me see the bigger picture. Help me understand what makes the most sense for me. Help me make this decision that's soul-based, that's heart-based, and not ego-based. And then we have playfulness. At the end of the day, they want you to have fun. They want you to work through this process in a playful space, to move through it in a childlike stance, looking through like a child's eyes. Like maybe you're looking at it from a place of, a history of trauma or a history of letdowns and disappointments, that when you make these decisions and you work through these processes of breaking things down and understanding them and trying to make good choices, perhaps you're pulling from your experiences that are all negative, and they're asking you to go back. Take yourself back to a time to when you were unscathed, untouched, untarnished. You weren't disappointed or let down at that point. And what would you do? What would the child version of you do in this situation? Have fun with this. Enjoy this part of your life. Don't let your mind trick you out of experiencing this to its fullest, because you're going to find that when you let everything go and you release all of those mental strongholds, the limiting beliefs, and you allow yourself to experience this through a childlike place and be open to opportunity and being curious and playful and enjoying it, you're going to find a lot of, like information, knowledge, wisdom. You're going to gain a lot of ancestral wisdom through the process that you're going through when you approach it from a childlike position. Being very open and accepting and receiving. Being very open to opportunities and options, and not stopping this from happening or limiting yourself from the experience because you are already, expecting something else to happen. Like where I've done this before, and every time I've done this, something bad has happened after this. They're saying get rid of that thought. This time doesn't have to be like the last time. And even if it's happened this time, or several times over and over and over again this way, this time doesn't have to be like the last 5-6 times. Approach this with a new attitude. Bottom of the deck, we have purity. Staying pure mind and heart and energy, keeping your vibes high, keeping yourself open, and keeping yourself in a childlike mindset. And I'm not talking about childlike as in like immature or naive, but full of light and magic, and like seeing things from a completely fresh set of eyes. When you keep yourself in this light-hearted purity, this energy of purity, you're ultimately like lifting up your vibrations, your frequency, which in turn of events is opening you up to being able to manifest on a much higher, more powerful, more potent level. When your vibrations elevate and your frequency is much higher, your manifestation abilities are so much more strong. And that is why it's so very important at this time in your life to not allow yourself to think negative thoughts about the things that you're manifesting, because you could be manifesting something into existence and just like that, with your own thought process, take it all away and let it all come crumbling down. We don't want to do that no more. We want to stay consistent, keep manifesting what it is that we want in our lives. When we start seeing those manifestations actually coming to fruition in our lives, we need to hold that intensity, hold that level, and keep that manifestation going. We need to, yes, I deserve this. Finally, my fruition is coming in. Finally, my blessings are coming in. Yes, I am deserving of this. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Universe. I am accepting of this. I know this was meant for me. I am going to keep manifesting this. This is me now. This is my life now. This is what is going to happen from now on in my life, because I'm not going to get in my way, and I'm not going to talk myself out of what I know I deserve and what I have been manifesting for myself all along. That is how we need to be this week. That is how we need to be all the time. But this is your weekly message. But I'm just saying, point blank, going forward, this is the level of intensity and the level of magnetism that we have to hold from this point forward. Going on into the future as a collective, we must keep our minds and our frequency high to the sky. Like the sky is not the limit. We go past that. We break through the ceiling of that. We have to think big. Keep going higher. Keep vibing higher. That is our calling. That is what we're meant to do.